When it comes to SUVs, few things are as frustrating as dealing with a transmission failure. Don't get stuck with an SUV that's plagued with issues that can leave you stranded or facing really expensive repairs. In today's video, here's 12 SUVs you should be wary of for transmission failure. The 2014-2015 Jeep Cherokee has become infamous for being a bit of a nightmare for its owners. If you've ever heard someone vent about it, chances are they were talking about its troublesome 9-speed automatic transmission. Drivers often dealt with delayed or jerky gear shifts, and sometimes the transmission would slip entirely, leading to sudden power loss. For some unlucky owners, these problems didn't stop at minor annoyances. They escalated to full-blown transmission failures, with repair bills that could hit a painful $5,500. Even when these issues were fixed under warranty, many owners found themselves back at square one once the warranty ended. The Cherokee had a decent starting price of around $25,000 back in the day, but with all those repair bills and headaches, the initial cost quickly started to feel like a bad deal. For many, the excitement of owning one faded as soon as the problems began piling up. The 2011 to 2013 Nissan Murano seemed like a great choice at first glance. It had a sleek design, plenty of space, and a ride so smooth you'd think you were gliding. But for many owners, the excitement didn't last long, all thanks to its notoriously troublesome CVT transmission. The CVT, or continuously variable transmission, was meant to improve fuel efficiency. That was the plan, at least. Instead, it became the Murano's biggest flaw. Many owners started noticing problems as early as 50,000 miles. It's no surprise that this issue often led to full-on transmission failures. And the fix? Well, replacing the CVT isn't cheap. It can set you back anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. Even with all its perks, like a comfy interior and a nice driving experience, those repair costs were hard to ignore. Add in the fact that many of these cars barely hit 100,000 miles before needing major repairs, and it starts to feel like a raw deal. For a vehicle that originally sold for $30,000 to $40,000, you'd hope it would last longer without draining your wallet. The 2013 to 2016 GMC Acadia had plenty of space, a good design, and all the features you'd expect from a family-friendly vehicle. But for many owners, it came with a frustrating list of problems, most of them tied to its transmission. These models came with a 6-speed automatic transmission, but things didn't always go smoothly. One common issue was the torque converter clutch. When this fails to disengage, the car can stall when you're slowing down or stopping. And that's not all. Some Acadias had problems with the shift linkage, which could be even worse. Basically, the gear selector might say park, but the car wasn't actually in park. That led to rollaway risks, which are both dangerous and stressful. Believe it or not, you're looking at anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 for transmission-related repairs. Now, a used Acadia from this time might run you between $12,000 and $20,000 depending on the condition. On paper, that price might seem fair, especially for a mid-size SUV, but when you factor in the likelihood of costly repairs, it starts to feel like a gamble. The Infiniti QX60, introduced in 2012, developed a reputation for some pretty frustrating problems, most of them tied to its CVT transmission. The CVT was supposed to make the car more efficient, but for many drivers, it became more of a headache than a benefit. One of the biggest complaints was the judder or shudder felt during acceleration, which made driving feel anything but smooth. Some drivers also dealt with gear slipping, where the transmission struggled to stay in the right gear. And when these issues got bad enough, they often led to complete transmission failure. Fixing or replacing the CVT wasn't cheap either, with costs ranging from $4,000 to $6,000. Worse yet, these problems tended to crop up sooner than anyone expected. For many owners, the cost of repairs and the ongoing reliability issues made the QX60 more trouble than it was worth, and this was for an SUV valued at least $43,000. The 2015 to 2020 Nissan Rogue was a hit when it came out. It looked great, had a competitive price, and checked a lot of boxes for people looking for a compact SUV. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find one major problem that's hard to ignore: its CVT transmission. The Rogue's continuously variable transmission, like others, was supposed to make for a fuel-efficient ride, but for many owners, it became the source of endless frustration. Drivers reported jerking, hesitation during acceleration, overheating, and even stalling. And for some, these problems started showing up as early as 60,000 miles. When the transmission failed completely, and it often did, the fix wasn't cheap. Replacing the CVT could set you back anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000. That's a big hit for a car that was supposed to be budget-friendly. But the issues didn't stop with the transmission. The Rogue's engine was underpowered, and combined with the CVT's sluggish response, it made driving feel less than exciting. Add that to other common complaints like premature battery failure, faulty brakes, and random electrical problems, and you've got a vehicle that left many owners disappointed. One of the biggest problems with the 2009 to 2017 Chevy Traverse was the 6-speed automatic transmission. It wasn't just a little glitchy, it was known for sudden failures, slipping gears, and struggling to shift properly. These weren't minor annoyances either. When the transmission went, it could leave you stranded. Replacing it wasn't cheap, with repair bills averaging over $4,000. What made it worse, these problems often started showing up around 80 to 100,000 miles, way earlier than most people would expect for such a pricey vehicle. But the trouble didn't stop there. Early models of the Traverse were notorious for excessive oil consumption and timing chain failures. Fixing those engine issues could easily run you thousands of dollars. And if you thought you'd get a break from the repairs, think again. Air conditioning compressors were another weak spot, often failing and costing over $1,000 to replace. The 2022 Kia Sorento seemed like a solid choice for anyone looking for a modern, family-friendly SUV. It had sleek styling, a good starting price around $30,000, and plenty of tech features. But despite all of that, this model has been raising eyebrows for some pretty frustrating problems, especially when it comes to the transmission. Many owners have reported issues with the 8-speed automatic or dual-clutch transmission. Complaints range from slipping and erratic shifting to the transmission outright refusing to engage. In some cases, these problems triggered the check engine light and left drivers stranded. To make matters worse, Kia issued a recall for certain models because of oil pump failures. This could cause a sudden loss of power, which is not only inconvenient, but also a real safety risk. While Kia covered these repairs under warranty, dealing with these issues so early in a vehicle's life isn't something anyone wants to go through. And if you're unlucky enough to be out of warranty, major transmission repairs can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. Now, to be fair, the Sorento does have its strengths. It's comfortable, offers decent fuel economy at up to 29 miles per gallon, and comes with a lot of modern features. But those perks can feel a little hollow when you're dealing with frequent breakdowns or spending weeks waiting for your car to be fixed. Nissan's Pathfinders came with 5-speed automatic transmissions, but the radiators were like a ticking time bomb. Coolant from the radiator would leak into the transmission fluid, creating a nasty mix that destroyed the transmission from the inside out. Most of these failures happen around 95,000 miles, just when you thought the vehicle should still have plenty of life left. By the time it happened, most warranties had already expired, leaving owners with repair bills that averaged about $4,000. Fixing it meant replacing both the radiator and the transmission, so the costs really add up. Nissan did extend the radiator warranty to 8 years or 80,000 miles, which helped some owners, but if your problems showed up after that, you were out of luck. On top of that, engine troubles and ongoing maintenance costs made this SUV feel like a constant money pit. The 2011 to 2014 Ford Fiesta is one of those cars that promised a lot, but ended up being a letdown for many owners. Drivers complained about jerking, shuddering, and hesitation when accelerating, all traced back to poorly designed clutches and control modules. Ford tried to address these problems by extending warranties and offering software updates, but for many, it wasn't enough. Some owners still needed clutch replacements, which didn't come cheap. Repairs often ran between $1,200 and $2,000. When it first hit the market, the Fiesta was priced between $14,000 and $16,000, making it an attractive option for budget-conscious buyers. But over time, its reputation took a hit. Resale value dropped, and many owners felt like they couldn't rely on their car to last. Even though the Fiesta's expected mileage is around 120 to 150,000 miles, reaching that without major issues was often unlikely. The 2019 Kia Forte was a promising option, especially with its affordable starting price of around $17,000. But a few big issues started popping up for owners, emptying wallets in a serious way. The main problem was the intelligent variable transmission, which caused some major headaches. Owners started noticing hesitation, jerking, and in some cases, complete transmission failure. Not what you want in a car that's supposed to be reliable. These issues often showed up pretty early, around 30 to 60,000 miles, and fixing them could be expensive, with repairs running up to $3,500. For a car that's meant to be affordable, the frequent repairs and inconsistent reliability were a real letdown. Sure, it had decent fuel economy, up to 34 miles per gallon combined, but when you're stuck with pricey repairs, it starts to feel like you're paying more than it's worth. The 2011 and newer Honda CR-Vs have a reputation for reliability, but like most cars, it's not perfect. One of the biggest complaints about these models is the transmission. Most come with a CVT, which can start to show some serious issues after a while. Owners have reported things like shuddering, slipping gears, and hard shifting, especially once the car hits around 100,000 miles. If you're unlucky, it could cost you anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 to get it fixed, whether you need a fluid flush or a torque converter replacement. While the CR-V is still priced fairly competitively, usually starting around $25,000 for newer models, these ongoing problems make you wonder if it's really worth it. Sure, it offers great fuel efficiency and a smooth ride, but when you add up the potential repair costs and the reliability concerns, some owners are left pretty frustrated. It's a shame because, on paper, it looks like such a solid choice. The 2016 2016 Nissan Altima offers an easy 27 miles per gallon in the city and 39 miles per gallon on the highway. Sounds great, right? Well, there's just one issue. It's continuously variable transmission. This CVT has become infamous for causing all sorts of problems like shuddering, overheating, jerking, and even failing completely before it should. Owners often found themselves facing repair bills in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, which is no small amount. Nissan did extend the warranty on the CVT to 84,000 miles in an attempt to make things right, but that doesn't fix the frustrations for many owners. When the Altima first hit the market, it was priced at around $23,000, marketed as a reliable mid-size sedan. But with all the transmission problems and class action lawsuits over the years, its reputation has taken a hit. Have you been affected by any of the cars on this list? Are you thinking twice about purchasing a used vehicle? Let us know in the comments below. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our latest videos. Catch you in the next one.